If a Monday evening can be called good, then good Monday evening to you all, everybody. It's wonderful to see you. I am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, as far as science knows, the only one. And it's good to see you, and it's good to be seen by you. Welcome to the live stream of Monday. It is the 8th of April, year of our Lord 2024. So I'm glad everybody's here, all you folks out there in TV land. And if you're new to the live stream, if you don't know what it is we do, guys, 5 nights a week, I bring you guys classic tabletop RPG live streams. Sometimes it's chatting about them. Sometimes it's talking to creators. Sometimes we play. We do that. We play right here on live stream for you guys. So I'm glad you're here. Wonderful Wizard of Games, Greg Myers, Tim Imholt swinging for the fences, Vaughn Graph Paper Architect, Michael Mertig, Robert Phillips, all you fun folks out there. I'm glad you're in here inside my computer box. So let me catch you guys up with this weekend seemed a little bit weird. So going all the way back to Thursday, you might have felt like something was a little amiss, but you know what, before we get into that, of course, I'd like to thank our sponsor, because this live stream is brought to you by Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of adventures they'd like to play, whether it's for 5th edition, for Castles and Crusades, or for the OSR. Old School is in play at the table with Hellebarde, and you can find them at DriveThruRPG or on their website, hellebardegames.com, and they are linked down below. Please check out our sponsor. So, yeah, cruising into Thursday last week, I had been on, as you said, the roundabout, sitting around the lake, mountains come out of the sky, and I stand there. So I toted that barge, I lifted that bale, and by Thursday night, I was feeling fairly clapped out. By Friday night, guys, let me tell you something. When you can have good D&D bad D&D or no D&D, always take no D&D. Okay? And it's the same as when I live stream. If I can't bring you guys a good live stream, then I would rather not bring you a live stream at all. I've done live streams that are just off the top of my dome, but I didn't even have it in me to do a good one for that. Now listen, settle down. I'm not getting burnout. Okay? Don't even throw that term at me. I love what I do, and if I didn't, I'd stop immediately, totally. I'd say my goodbyes. I'd thank you all for your participation. And I'd coast over into the pits, wheel out, helmet off. But that ain't happening. But I do know when it's time to pull into the pits, and that time was Friday night. So thank you all for your patience. And thank you all for hanging with me. I appreciate it. And then Tim Imholt, he's sitting out there in the audience. Hey, Tim, how's it going? Tim pings me and he's like, I want to do a video about outrage culture. Let's just do it impromptu. And I said, no, we're going to do this right. So the timing was perfect. I got a couple of the agonized react photos of me and Tim. I titled the video, "We Can't Keep Doing This Anymore." Had a little bit of fun with it. Slycanthrope, good to see you. going to talk about that young man here in just a minute. The outrage over outrage culture. Let me tell you something, Dungeon Ministers in the audience, and Father Aaron, it is always lovely to see you. Let me tell you a little bit of, once upon a time I did a show when I had metaphorically and semi-literally been hit by a car. It was not a good video. Dungeon Minister was like, everything okay, Bill? Like out in the audience. And then he was pinging me like, you don't look good. Because he could see. I was making a martyr of a bad situation that I had going on. And that's a perfect example of if I don't feel like I can bring you guys top notch, if I'm not up here at 100, between like 90 and 100, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Wheeling Dragon, hello, dear. So I eased off of it. And then Sunday, well, Tim was like, let's do this thing, Bill. So I had Tim on. And then, okay, so Saturday was good. Saturday was good because I got to play in-person D&D. And now, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, Harmony Ginger actually lives here in the area that I do. And when we discovered that, we were like, oh, got to get together. So I went over and I played D&D with her and her boyfriend on Saturday night. While I was out, we had a power outage. Everything reset. I have all this newfangled audio gear. Yes, Mark, many of you are. Thank you very much for the super chat, sir. The Dungeon Delver. That actually sounds cool. That actually sounds like like an intake manifold company or turbocharger company. Dungeon Delver. So like an idiot, like the moron that I am, I didn't come over here when I got home Saturday night and sit down and set everything up. And then Tim's like, hey, we got to do this stream. And I was like, hey, that's very cool. Yeah, let's do that. And then 15 minutes before stream time, I come over here to the studio and nothing's working. My 48 volt power is off. My stream deck is down. It were bad. So I battled through all that stuff. We had a pretty good live stream, a pretty important live stream. Tim really brought the house. We talked about getting wound up. And I got to tell you something. Josh Butler, hello. Good to see you. Peace and welcome, Josh Butler. I got to tell you something. The internet can be a place, but you got to roll with the punches. This is not a place to go, I can't stand having my point of view challenged. I can't be questioned. Okay. We already talked about it on Sunday. All right. I'm not gonna rehash it. So we had a great video on Sunday. So that's basically, the last time you guys saw me on Thursday to right now, that is what has happened. That is what's gone on. So I find myself once again behind the DM screen and ready and willing to talk positivity because that's what I want to be. The Dungeon Delver, making dynamic dungeons. Vroom, vroom. Yes, Dr. Imholt is a fun guy, by which I mean he's been taken over by the Myconids. They have put mind control spores on him. Say nothing. Anyway, so that's that was basically it. And by the way, there are two people in the chat right now, Tim Imholt and Dungeon Minister, go subscribe to their YouTube channels, please. Dungeon Minister has an absolutely fantastic channel where he uses sound effects and video effects, and week to week gives us a blow-by-blow recounting of the Honeywood campaign that he runs for Basic Expert, and man, it is worth your time. It is like an old school radio play, and I cannot recommend it enough. And if you're just starting, if you've just subscribed to my channel and you haven't subscribed to his channel, you're in luck, because that man, the Padre, has got a year's plus worth of episodes of his campaign, and you might kind of, hear the occasional guest voice. Please go subscribe to Dungeon Minister for the spiciest takes. You go into the taco bar and they've got the spice bottles, and you get them that are labeled with like the medical face of horror for your level of pain. Down there on that end of the YouTube TTRPG space, that's Tim. All right, that's Tim. A more brilliant scientific mind I do not personally know. I don't think I've ever personally known. And look out, guys, because he's moving into the TTRPG YouTube space. A challenger appears, but not a challenger, guys, because a rising tide lifts all boats. PhD, not MD. Dr. Monsignor Timothy Imholt. And if you get that reference, you should probably take one a day and have some Advil for your back and knee pain. How am I feeling tonight? Is that directed at me, Wheeling Dragon? I'm doing wonderfully. Thank you for asking. So anyway, so here we are on Monday, and we're going to talk about no, not senior. So we're gonna talk about a few things. First of all, welcome to our new viewers. We hit 5,630 subscribers in my absence, even with me sitting on my butt doing nothing other than streaming with Tim. So welcome, one and all. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Daniel Rowan says, I'm the world's worst Catholic. No, you're not a Borgia, so you're not the world's worst Catholic. Back me up on this, Dungeon Minister. I mean, I know you're Anglican, Father Aaron, but you seriously, no, I don't think there's any Borgias out there in the live stream, so trust me. But anyway, to move on. So that was my weekend. How are you guys? Coming up this week, you've got to get through this. I'm sorry. Tomorrow night, proper first edition AD&D play returns to the Delver's Dungeon channel as it do every Tuesday. You're going to be here watching through that thing over there, looking in this direction, because we have got 6 players, including Tim Imholt, playing some first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and we do that every Tuesday night. And guys, we actually play first edition AD&D. All right. And more to the point, if you don't know what we're doing, if you've never played, if you're curious about, why are you rolling just a 6-sider for both, each side just rolls a 6-sider for initiative. Why does armor class go down? Tell me about Greyhawk, and I can catch you up. In just a few short sentences, then I will. This is not some static museum piece or a scripted TV show like, some things that people are critical of as folks roll the dice. We actually play first edition AD&D here. All right. And so watch it. Use it as a learning experience. That's what it began as a long time ago. It's like, hey, I'm going to run 4 or 5 D&D sessions so you guys can actually see how it's played. And it's exploded now into this thing that's been going on for a good 2 years now. And let me tell you what, no, there is no 2-hit armor class 0 except for monsters. And then it's only a reference note in AD&D. The Dave, take care, buddy. Thank you for hanging for as long as you could. Have I ever created my own campaign setting to run adventures in? I'm not stuck. Wonderful Wizard of Games, I'm not stuck. I live there. I love it. Once upon a time, before I got into Greyhawk, yes. I really, really got into Greyhawk in the late 90s. But my little D&D games used to be kind of in their own space that sort of surrounded the keep on the Borderlands for the most part. So anyway, moving right along. Are we only 16 minutes in? I feel like I've been running my mouth now for like an hour. Hey, there's a guy. Steven, got to get you back on the show again, brother. Got to talk to you. I mean, about whatever, right? Stephen Radley McFarland has been on the show before, and he's an awesome guy. Keep on the Borderlands was advice. I thought it was a sign. I thought it was like on somebody's lawn, like, don't come over here. All right, drop me a PM. You know how to get a hold of me. Didn't I like the Howling Hills, Robert? Yes, the Howling Hills are a part of Greyhawk. They are a border between the Kingdom of Ayuz and the Wolf Nomads and Tiger Nomads. Hey, Imperial Rams, I got to tell you guys something. My apologies to headphone users just now. Part of why anything at all worked Sunday is because of this guy right here. I know this dude personally, and he saved my bacon Sunday. IR, you know him as Boganora. Thank you. Thank you so much. That 48 volt thing was, apparently on this soundboard, it was just like push and hold and hold and hold and hold. So thank you. Thank you. I had no audio yesterday afternoon, guys, and I didn't know how I was going to get it back. Against the Giants is fantastic. I'm running my Monday night group through it. You too, brother. You too. So, so we were talking Grey. Oh, somebody had asked me about Greyhawk. Yeah. So yeah. Daniel Rowan hasn't really gotten into Greyhawk or FR. Well, the beauty of Greyhawk, one of the great things about Greyhawk is all right, we're going to do it. We're going to risk it. So if you can lay your hands on this is all you need for Greyhawk. All right. This is the Greyhawk folio. There's not much here. Okay. You're not going to drown in lore. You're not going to drown in lore with this. It's maps, it's notations about cities and kingdoms, and that's it. It's literally just some pre-made maps. Now, you take your Forgotten Realms, please. You take your Forgotten Realms, or I'll just put this up here for now. And it should be falling down by the end of the show. Miss Bella Games. You take your Forgotten Realms, you take your Dragon Lances, your stuff like that. The worlds are replete with lore, and it is like drinking from a fire hose. You know? You can't kill off that NPC, the world will fall apart, you know? You did, Wheeling Dragon. Thank you. So Wheeling Dragon and I were talking on Discord. I hope you don't mind if I bring this up, Wheeling. But she and I were communicado via Discorda. Anyway, and she had been looking through some boxes and found some Greyhawkania whilst she was cleaning up. And I hope you found more treasures, Wheeling Dragon. I really do. Yes, Winter Wolf, the print-on-demand Greyhawk folio. Drowning in Lore was Greg Myers. That is funny. That is funny. Oh, very cool. I'm all about Stompy Robots, Wonderful Wizard. So anyway, I was going on about something before I got dragged into this discussion about Greyhawk. If you have Greyhawk and Invincible Overlord, you have years of content. Absolutely. And you can drop CSIO right into Greyhawk or into Mystara or into probably Forgotten Realms, maybe Dragonlance, possibly Birthright, maybe not Maztica. I'm going to say no on Dark Sun. I suppose you could beam down to it in Spelljammer. It'd be a little out of place in Al Qadim, but you know, I'll leave that to you guys. Karatur maybe is an Embassy City. Did I miss any? I feel like I hit them all. I'm just making sure that I'm getting everyone's comments and so on and etc. Be well, Dungeon Minister. Thank you for stopping by. But anyway, to move on. So it's Monday. I don't have a miniature for you guys. Too busy. Sorry. But we do have mail call. We do have mail call. And this comes to me from the folks. I don't think you guys can see this, but I don't want anybody zooming and enhancing. Now, this is for review. This is not just for, hey, this is cool, you should have this. Hollow World. Yeah, that was a setting. But this comes to us from Neckbeardia, who are, they're some fun folks. But this is for their homebrew system. I'm going to see how D&D compatible it is. It will be graded on that, James, if you're watching this, by the way. But this is called The Bastard Princess. Kind of a grim, dark thing for dice and demons. Adventure by Neat Games. So we're going to... The Witch of the Western Wood. I'm in love with it already. Neckbeardia. Oh yeah. James is a cool guy. So I'm going to be doing a review of this, but seems like a nice sturdy book. You know, it's perfect bound. So if you guys saw, and I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. Do I have it over here? Yeah. So it's about the same size, and this is getting a review soon too. This is probably going to get a review this week. It's the same size as Greenhaven. So if you guys see that, digest sized, but I got this today. Thank you. Big ups to the kids over at Neckbeardia. Thank you. This is going to get a review real soon. Fear not. I do appreciate it. I don't, Imperial Ramblings, we're going to find out. Thank you for the super again, Vigor. You love how it's owned with Neckbeardia, yes. Speaking of a Hollow World Mage, the Ascension, our group we're tracking a cryptid whose pet croc we battled and found a tunnel to the Hollow World. I think it's Snake Man. You could be right. Wheeling Dragon, I will connect you with the folks over at Neckbeardia if you were talking about that. So I'll tell you a little bit about my game Saturday. So as I said, Harmony Ginger, she reached, I was actually guest spotting on T-Shirted Historian. Subscribe to his channel, please. You know what? I want to look right here real quick. I want to see how close he is. We would love to see T-Shirted Historian hit 1K subs. Let's see. He of the T-shirt. 916 subscribers, guys. Let's get him over the top if we can. But anyway, so I was guesting one Saturday, I think, on their show, and I was mentioning the proximity of where I lived, and Harmony Ginger was like, "No way, you live there?" And I was like, "Yes way, I live here." And she's like, "I live over here." Over here being a mere 35-minute drive from my home. And that is when things got planny. So we finally met up. I met her boyfriend, and the three of us played some Dungeons and Dragons. I advanced, of course, first edition. What else did you expect? We used Village of Greenhaven, or I should say, I used Village of Greenhaven. They were just there for it. So I was charmed, of course, and lucky me, I think I may actually now have, brace yourselves, dungeon delvers. Oh, folk of the chat. You might want to take your shoes off or your socks are going to get blown right through them. I may have an IRL AD&D group again. I know. I'm so excited. Be still my heart. So she was a perfectly crumulent hostess, and I think possibly once or twice a month, the old dungeon delver may be heading out to do some actual at-table gaming. I'm excited. Dice Media Groups, when I say okay, when I talk about original Dungeons and Dragons, I'm pointing at the box up here. When I talk about original Dungeons and Dragons, I say original Dungeons and Dragons or OD&D. I don't say OD&D very often. I never say D&D 74. When Darth Brooks, you will get Gamma World. You will get Gamma World, Darth Brooks. John David, there's a guy. How you been? How's it been going out there, man? My peeps in California. Well, originally anyway. Wherever it is you are. By the way, question for John David: Is Deb still DMing for you guys? How are your adventures going? But when I say AD&D, this is, come on. When I say AD&D, this is what I'm talking about, right there. Or 1E, first edition AD&D. Original D&D is the Old Testament. That's the New Testament. Hey, I'm always here. Mostly always here. Shoot me an email. We can catch up. You know me. I'm easygoing. So it was an absolute gas to meet her. And I just hope I was a good DM. You know, that's always the thing. I lack that introspection mechanism to say whether or not I'm a good enough DM. Oh, well. Josh Butler is going to get it. Hey, you can get them on Drive-Thru RPG. You can get the core set print on demand, like $20 a book. maybe $30 a book, but you can get them. It depends on how you want them, like the covers done. I'm okay. How long did 3E last? Okay, so we have to take. See, I don't consider 3.5 its own game. I don't. It fixed typographical errors. It was a lot of errata that they rebound and sold you guys the same books over again. Third edition came out in 2000. Fourth edition came out in 2007. That's a very narrow window. Now, for perspective, fifth edition has lasted almost 10 years. Well, let's do this. Let's break this down. OD&D was 74 to 77. Now, basic fans, you guys are like intermingled, and I don't really know the timelines as well as I might. So OD&D, so I what I'm saying is I'm not going to get into basic timelines of publication. Right on, Wheeling. You're a sweetheart anyway. Lag or no lag. So first edition AD&D was 77 to 89. That's right. 2E did not roll out until 1980. That's 12 years. Now, you may say that by 1989, the game had mutated to the point of almost being unrecognizable, but that's right, John David. Absolutely. Amen. Can I get an amen? What's chainmail? Ooh, that's a good question. But anyway, chainmail is a book of splendor. Chainmail is the was it the narcotic fragments or whatever from Call of Cthulhu. Anyway, so 89 to 99, you had 10 years of second edition. 89 to 99. 2000 cometh third edition. 2000 to 2007. Now, fourth ed actually lasted a little bit longer, but they announced in 2014 that fifth ed was coming. So we went we went from fourth ed was 2007. Stephen, if you're in the audience, please correct me if I've got this wrong. No, there's dragons and wizards specifically in chainmail, John David. You got to remember, dude. So fourth ed was 2007 to 2014, 2015-ish. I was playtesting 5E. I feel like it was 2015. That was a very hazy time for me. You guys got to understand. I was losing a parent to Alzheimer's. So honestly, if you ask me about anything between like 2016 and 2018, I'm liable as not to not remember it real well, which is bad for me, right? So we've had 9, maybe 10 years, depending on your point of view, because they're going to start dropping later this spring, the 6 ebooks. And I'm sorry, D&D 1, D&D Next, no. It's 6th edition. Stop pretending. When you guys try and step away from that, you just get forced back to it, Wizards of the Coast. So, it basically, so here it goes. 12 years, 10 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, I don't know. I don't know what fifth will be. I don't know what fifth will be. 2008. See, you see, guys, I have the smartest audience. I can call on people and get answers like that. RPG Grandma snuck in. Hello, RPG Grandma. Good to see you, my dear. So, Slycanthrope, I am glad that you have spoken again. I have stuff that I am working on right now, including Cheval got Google. Right. Okay. I'm doing a little bit of work for Slycanthrope. Good Sir here has, now I'm not going to spoil anything, Sly, don't worry. Good Sir here has written a module, and the task has been laid at my feet to convert it to OD&D. Something I will happily do. So I'm excited about that. Ian, good to see you, brother. How are you? So I'm excited to do that OD&D conversion. I will have some more conversion work coming up for OD&D and AD&D for my friends over yonder at Gaxland. I've got irons in the fire. So I'm excited about it. Jorge, that's awesome. Thank you very much. Don't laugh at me because I mean this sincerely. Tell them I said from the bottom of my heart, gracias. I am very happy to hear that, Jorge. That is amazing. Also, I didn't realize you were a professor. That's wonderful. What are you a professor of? You got to tell me. Yeah, you really. So Slycanthrope's talking about how excited he is to see the conversion. So there's a lot of stuff I got because 5e is different from OD&D. So there's like make a perception check, DC 15. I'm going to be like, on a roll of 1 on a D6, the party may notice this, or I may just I may just then if you're teaching them English, tell them I said thanks. I've got this, Professor. The Dungeon Delver is on the internet. The Dungeon Delver is on the internet. But anyway, so yeah, there's going to be spots where it's going to be like, if the players look carefully, they may notice this. So I'm going to have some fun with it. With Vaughn, you take psionics out of AD&D and you lose so many cool, terrifying monsters and powers that demons and devils and angels and gods and demigods can wield. It's a spice, Vaughn. You use it in limited amounts. You don't just dump the whole jar in there. 1E for 12 years, 2E for 11. Was 2E 11? I feel 89 to 99? Oh, it'll be Slycanthrope. It's going to be ready in the next couple of days, brother. Don't even worry about it being ready on time. 19 years if you count Pathfinder. Stephen Bree. Okay, all right. We'll bring Pathfinder in. Pathfinder. Was it the year where the year where 2006 never ended, or the land where 2006 never ended? Sorry. Psionic class. I don't know. No, and it's fine not to use psionics. I'm just saying that I can make a case. I can fix psionics with 4 or 5 things in AD&D. Just no one has ever said, I want to play, I want to play a character who has psionics. and I don't put it out there. If somebody made the case and came to me and said, no, I have to run a character with psionics, I would probably, sit them down and tell them, like, look, you're playing a magic user, you're going to see your magic powers drop off. Clerics are not going to be like, hey, I'm hitting this person with cellular adjustment, which, by the way, I would just remove that discipline entirely. But I'm doing all these things that I can do. Your god is going to start denying you spell. What? Wait, whoa! Why can't I get higher level spells? Because your god's looking at you like, all right, Professor X, if that's how you want to roll, then use your brain for stuff. Clearly, you don't need me. And fighters and armor, that's going to play havoc with it. So I can adjust it. Sonics is what made some creatures ultra terrifying, a lot like love. Good point, Darth Brooks. Good point. Very good point made. So you can have a lot of fun. And a lot of people like, that's right. Yeah, the proper response is, Einstein, God does not play dice with the universe. Me, Einstein never played Dungeons and Dragons with me, did he? But the thing you have to remember with psionics, however you approach it, guys, however you want to do it or don't do it, just remember there is no right or wrong way. It's the thought that counts. Now to sit back and watch them all flip out. Oh, don't boo me, Tim. I've seen what you people cheer for. All right. So, no, this is a good question. A pun absolutely intended. So this is a good question. What's my opinion of the alignment variants of paladins from Dragon Magazine? If you're not lawful good human with the right stats, you're not a paladin. You're not a paladin. Doom swords. I mean, the thought. It's the thought who counts. You roll on the psionics table and on that certain table on city encounters. Yeah, no, I don't do paladins that are not lawful good humans that meet the paladin requirements and walk that narrow path to paladinhood. I simply don't. That's the way it is. It's hard to create a paladin. It's hard to stick to lawful good as defined in the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Player's Handbook. It isn't easy. It is a class for a player who really wants to step up their role playing. The appropriation of the paladin class to mean whatever the hell we want it to is, quite frankly, very annoying to me. I mean, you do what you want in your game, but you're never going to bring to my game the half gelatinous cube, half kobold, chaotic neutral with evil tendencies, 4 levels of assassin, warlock with a demon patron, and say he's a paladin of broken vengeance. No. I'm sorry. No. It's like when Ohioans just dump meat into a pot and throw hot sauce in and call it chili. It ain't. You can call it whatever you want, but they're not paladins. And for all you people warming up your keyboards to start talking to me about, well, paladins were just warriors of Charlemagne who took an oath, Bill. That it doesn't mean anything about God or I'm pointing at my copy of 3 Hearts and 3 Lions, by the way. Oh, Tim. Skyline chili on pasta is spaghetti sauce. We're going to have an argument video about this, Tim. I need to do something real quick, guys. I'm going to be right here. I'm not going anywhere. All right, hang on a second. Tab. All right. Anyway, paladins are a specific, precise, exact thing that needs to you're just a fighter. Like, you want the cool title of paladin and a bunch of powers that you think are badass, and you don't want to put the work in. All right. But my oath blade genocide, half gelatinous, no, I've already done that, with 2 levels of Sorlock. No. You don't get the extra goodies. You have a limited amount of treasure, a limited amount of magic items. You walk a narrow path when you want to be a paladin. That's what you do. That's what you have to do. I mean, I've said before that, you know, like, if I got the chance, if I got the opportunity, and somebody was going to run me in an AD&D game, and I couldn't get like a good set of stats to play a paladin, what I would love to do is play a half-orc fighter cleric, a lawful good half-orc fighter cleric who was absolutely convinced he was a paladin. He was what? He can cure people. He's lawful good. He can protect from evil. He'd even try and go get a paladin's warhorse and probably wind up with a donkey to ride. But I'd have fun with it. But I wouldn't insist. That some uh-oh. They said the K word. I wouldn't say, well, look, I know I don't have the stats, but let me play a half-orc paladin. No, I would have so much fun with that. And the church would be like, absolutely, my son. Yes, go forth. I mean, you know, because he's lawful good and he's doing lawful good. And I speak in malapropisms all the time. Yonder forth lie our enemies. Let us go and exterminate them. You know, I would have fun with it. It's something I would enjoy and I would have fun with, but I wouldn't lean on the dungeon master and say, you have to let me play a paladin. If you tell me there's like, I've invented a class that's chaotic good, that does this, this, and this, that's like a paladin, that's fine, but you don't get the stuff that a paladin gets. Paladins don't have the moral flexibility of chaotic good or even neutral good, which I would argue is a better good than lawful good, and definitely a better good than chaotic good. Let us heap some harm upon them. Yes, orbital air. Burninate them. Was I doing Reverend Lovejoy? Paladins are their own class. Now let us finish today's sermon with In the Garden of Eden by I. Ron Butterfly. I don't know how that is for Reverend Lovejoy. You guys will have to tell me. But that's just that's just how I feel about it. It's how Lexi feels about it. She's walking across the table. You guys probably saw her little butt. Neutral evil is the worst evil. Chaotic evil, I would argue that lawful evil is probably the least evil of the evils. Chaotic evil, at least you've got an option to get out of it to chaotic neutral. But yeah, neutral evil is like follow rules, don't follow rules. I don't care. Make people miserable. Do bad things. That's neutral evil. Say what you want, Daniel Rowan, but at least it's an ethos. Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely. Palpatine in Return of the Jedi and Empire. He was neutral evil. Yeah, I don't care. I just want the baddest outcome for everyone. More power for me and awfulness and misery for everybody else. Which evil are Disney executives? I lawful evil. A lot of corpos when you get up there. I hate doing real world alignment analogies, but I would say, like, if you had to pick one, I would say lawful evil. Yes, Damien, exactly. Well, it's driving towards creating more evil regardless of what you do. I don't know. I don't apply Vinger. I don't apply alignments to real people. I mean, even, you know, I don't even like to get into movie characters because people are like, oh, well, wouldn't Harry Callahan be lawful evil? Well, a lot of people say Harry Callahan would be lawful good. A lot of people say, well, no, he very clearly broke the law to do good. So, you know, that would be chaotic. You know, I don't like getting that into it. Thank you, Robert. You figure he was lawful neutral, Tim? Slycanthrope, I would say people's general lack of predictability, we're probably chaotic neutral for the most part. We like to lie and tell ourselves, oh, you know, I'm lawful good. I always do the right. Really? I think there are some people who are, but by and large, I think society is chaotic neutral. He didn't want to hug anyone ever. A nerd's nerd. Greeting a nerd's nerd. Welcome, welcome. So I kind of got distracted. I want to talk about the guac a little bit. If you don't know what the guac is, if you're new to the channel, which you might be, maybe you've been subscribed for a while and you've never caught a live stream before, but the guac is the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, and it's something we do. It's something we do around here because I know a lot of people, you can't make it to a con in real life. I get it. I can't for the most part. But the guac is your chance to game. Guys, it's 5 days long. It is April 24th to 28th. It's less than 3 weeks away, guys. April 24th to 28th, all online. We have merch, and the cost to you guys to attend the con, to run games, to sign up for games is nothing. It's free. So you can go to Warhorn, you can sign up, you can check out the Dungeon Ministers, channel, and do I have it? Here we go. Nope, that's not it. I'm looking. Okay, I don't have it up right now. There we go. The Dungeon Minister has merch. He's got his own merch, but check this out. Pint glasses, notebooks, Tervises, stickers, hoodies, pillows, doormats, coffee mugs, t-shirts. He's got it all. So there's convention merch. That's the Dungeon Minister Creatorspring.com with a dash between each word. As far as I know, Michael, it costs you nothing. Sign up for games. Sign up to run games. We're going to have an artist alley with Richard Witters and Tracy Lesh. We're going to have a discussion panel with Matt Finch. We're going to have giveaways. Nerds Nerd, I desperately wish that I could the Creator Spring had a guacamole bowl, but they don't. It does feel like a missed opportunity. Yeah, I have to have the mouse trails on GPA because I like if I'm doing a lot of moving around and I've got like my dice roller up and I'm running the game, I need to know where the mouse is. You know, I have an old man mouse. So come to the guac. I'm going to be running board game demos. I'm going to be running Space Hulk. I'm going to be running Dungeon, Hero Quest, which is the best game ever. I'm going to be running a How to Play First Edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And there's so many other games. We're going to have a giveaway, guys. We're going to have gifts given away in a special drawing, a live stream after the con. I'm gonna be giving away a piece of Delver's Dungeon merch. That's right. One lucky person will get a Delver's Dungeon t-shirt. Not a guac t-shirt, a Delver's Dungeon t-shirt, which has art by Tracy Lesh, guys. Art by Tracy Lesh. Don't miss this opportunity. Yeah, this year's logo is actually by Sky Hernstrom, who's, by the way, going to be on the show soon. You guys remember Sky? If you don't remember Sky, I'm telling you about Sky. He is an awesome pulp fantasy author and an all-around cool dude. Jorge, now all this is going to be on Discord. I won't be recording the How to Play. I will not. But I could do something like that if people are interested. I know it's a little guac the toilet paper, guac the flamethrower. Exactly. The kids love this one. But I could do something like that. Yeah, black toilet paper, dirty history and hobbies, just no. Mark Morrison, thank you for stopping in. Peace. Take care. So guys, sign up for the con. Come to the convention, and we'll have a lot of fun. And I hope you guys will all want to stop by and check it out. Now, this week coming up, as I said, we have tomorrow night, first edition AD&D. I believe that this Wednesday, Kyle will be here to also run some AD&D, but a hex crawl on Wednesday. I will be playing some guac foam swords, green foam swords, I would think. Yeah. I will be playing. I will not be DMing on Wednesday night. Thursday, we are going back and we are going to continue our look at L2, The Assassin's Knot by Len Lakofka. Friday, I'll be back. I promise I'll be back Friday, and we're going to play some classic Gamma World again. We'll have our whole group together for some Gamma World. Maybe even another player. I don't know yet. But it will be an absolute just blast if that person is going to be able to join us. Greg Myers is technically challenged. What sort of stuff would you need to play? An internet connection, which you obviously have because you're here, and something where people can hear your voice so that you may participate in Discord. You do not need a camera. You do not need any kind of virtual tabletop software. All you need to do is go to the Discord and sit in a voice channel. That's it, Greg. That's it. Yes, and you also need a Discord connection. So the assassin's not going to show up till the third act of the module. Boom. I'm here all week, folks. Tip your wait staff. The hex crawl game needs a range. I rolled up some insanely good stats with an online die roller, and I felt weird about having stats that good. So I ditched those. I re-rolled stats for Kyle because I did not like that I got such hot stats out of a digital thing. So I literally took dice and rolled them on a table, and I said, hey, Kyle, I'm doing this instead. Would Gamma World be good for Fallout? You would have to do some tweaking. You would have to do some tweaking in Gamma World because Fallout, I mean, so what do you got for mutants? You have oh crap, what are they called? Ghouls, super mutants, hounds, those a couple of kinds of insects, mirelurks, death claws. But the point is, not that many. Not as many as you get in Gamma World. And pretty much everybody is pure strain human. Well, Dirty History and Hobbies Discord won't bite you. You just sign up and then just delete it. Tweaking is okay, but not twice. You do what you want to do, James. You do what you want to do. But anyway, so I hope you guys will consider. So, collecting chaos. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, I hope you can be there this week. Can you be there this week? That hurts my heart, man. I feel like I'm so sorry. There will be Gamma World this Friday. If I have to grab people off the street and force smartphones into their hands so they can do it, we'll play Gamma World this Friday just for you, Collecting Chaos. A dwarf named Chastity. I'm not even gonna. But you know what, Wheeling Dragon? It's always there. That's the beautiful thing about the merch over on Dungeon Minister's page. Oh, we have new registration. Thank you, whoever did that. Yeah, finger. Don't you all have phones? But let's see. I missed something here. Yes, so the merch for all past and current guacs will always be available unless Dungeon Minister chooses differently. And so, like, you know, if it's this summer before you can order a pint glass or t-shirt or whatever, you'll still be able to get it. It's not like some FOMO kind of thing. You want a Guac 1 pint glass, a Guac 2 mug, and a Guac 3 t-shirt, do that. You know, a Guac 1 mug, a Guac 2 hoodie, and a Guac 3 throw pillow, however you want to do it. However you want to do it. Played one session of that weird fourth edit hybrid game. One was a 4E game. Yeah, it got furry. At some point in the late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, Gamma World got furry. It's like, I play a lizard man. I play a cat man. Yes, by the way, the PDF of Gamma World 1E is nice. I have I'm not doing it. I'm not dragging it down. But over here on the shelf, I actually have the 1E. No, actually, I can get it without causing a commotion. It's nice. Everything in one book. You do get good JPEGs of the map of North America Gamma World if you feel like you need it. So, good stuff. Maybe an Enclave presence would help post-90s Gamma World. Maybe. Bunnies and burrows for those days when you just haven't had enough Watership Down. But anyway, is there anything, any questions you guys have about Guac, about me, about this, about that, about the other? Let me know. Right now, actually, guys, I do need to wrap up here. I need to call it an evening. I want to thank you all for being here. I lost track of time, but thank you everybody for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you. Is there one game system learned for Guac? What would it be? I will answer that before I go. Probably first edition AD&D if you don't know it. Thank you, Mark Morrison, Vanger, and Collecting Chaos for the super chats. Thank you all for being here very, very much. I've had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you all for being very understanding through this weekend and the craziness. And wherever you go, whatever you do, guys, keep your eyes peeled for those dangerous owl bears. Peace. Love you all. Good night.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course, naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me